Hey everybody, welcome to this week's edition of the Rochester Press Box, the Joe Bradt episode. Every once in a while, we bring in Joe to bring in a perspective, usually at the start of the baseball season. Joe, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on the show that I am currently directing.
I love having Joe on because it answers the question, what would it be like if a Muppet had encyclopedic knowledge of baseball? And we're all going to find that out today. We're all going to find out. See, there's a voice right there. There's a Muppet voice. You guys heard it.
You're about to get educated, though. You're about to get educated. And boy, the Team USA almost have it on Tuesday.
And
I know.
I'm going to say bad things about the management of this baseball team, and I don't want to, so I'll just let Joe say all of the bad things about the management of this baseball team.
All right, we'll start with the management, and the results are not what Team USA was looking for. Venezuela comes in. Your thoughts on that? Here we are heading into this weekend. Are you good with it, or are you still sticking with the fact that maybe Duffy's on to something?
No, I'm pretty good with it because it was a classic.
No, you're right. Like I'm not saying
classic game, classic score. Yes,
were brilliant. It was brilliant. The issue I have is one. I'm pretty sure he thinks there's 2 more games to play to figure out who's going to win this thing.
Yeah,
but like the fact to have that kind of all-star lineup that they had, and credit to the Venezuelans, their pitching was phenomenal. Their defense was great. To not have a runner in scoring position in 9 innings, which this team did not. Yeah. You think of the superstars on this team, guys that are stars on their teams, their club teams that don't even get to play. You didn't have a runner reach second base in this game in 9 innings. How was that possible?
And Joe, you and I were talking about this too, that Harper home run. It changes the whole perspective of the game.
Yeah, when Harper hit his 2-run homer to tie it, it definitely seemed like America had a chance. But again, Mark DeRosa, who makes Aaron Boone look like DeRosa just doesn't know the right buttons to push, I think. Like, what about getting on base?
Thank you.
What about drawing a walk?
Thank you, right? Get him on, get him over, get him in. Like, everybody who loves baseball watched for 2 months the Toronto Blue Jays play the baseball we were all taught to play. And I don't mean to sound like old man yelling in a cloud guy, right? Like, I don't mean to sound like that guy. But if nothing else is working, you got 3 hit. That lineup got 3 hit in a championship game. And again, this Venezuelan team is more talented than people are giving them credit for. Like, you have a former MVP on that roster. That pitching, even the guys that you're not intimately familiar with, are very, very good. But you need to find more than 3 hits in 9 innings with the talent you have on that roster.
In the 20 years that we've had the Baseball Classic, why does it hit now? Like, I feel more amped for the start of the Major League Baseball season after this tournament than I've ever had before. Spring training doesn't work. Why does this work?
Well, look at the roster. Team USA is a bunch of 20-year-olds. Bobby Witt's 23, Paul Steen's 23. These are guys who grew up watching the World Baseball Classic. It's been a part of their lives their entire growing up.
Mm-hmm.
You have a guy like Roman Anthony who actually attended the last World Baseball Classic as a fan, and now he's in the starting lineup. So there's a whole different level for these younger players where this game really matters, and it means a lot.
I also ran into a lot of people who are not really into baseball, but fell into. And in the surprising end of it, too, I mean, nobody really thought Team Italy would do that well.
Yeah.
They beat Team USA. Eventually, obviously, did get eliminated. Here comes Venezuela, as you said before. Underrated team. Everybody was looking at Japan. Everybody was looking at the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, USA. And then out of the blue, here comes Venezuela. Now, if you put all the baseball classics together, Japan has won 3, and then 1 US, 1 Dominican Republic, and 1 now for Venezuela. I think baseball's on to something. It only took 2 decades, Joe, to actually get it to come together.
And who would have guessed Miami would be the place? That place was packed every game. The Marlins can't draw 500 fans.
Well, but I think it speaks to when they have something to cheer for. Look, I mean, you look at the mix of cultures in Miami, too. It makes sense.
You had the finals in Miami. It was perfect. Let's do that again soon.
Coming up next, the GM position, Pat Duffy. He owns it on this show. Bill segment on the way next. You're watching the Rochester Press Box.
Just Passing Through, life lessons from notable Rochesterians, people you may think you know. Don Elhart, Maggie Brooks, John Dady, and Stacy Pension, J Mac and Soccer Sam, Fred Costello, and Jake Zembeck, along with 21 more. How they all got from there to here. It's a new book by Bill Pucko, available for $12 postpaid only from rocksportsnow.com. Try it, and thank you.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rochester Press Box, the Bills segment. Of course, our now dubbed GM of the Buffalo Bills, Pat Duffy.
How did I get this job? I don't want this job.
Yes, you do.
I do?
Yeah, you criticize it a lot.
Well, yeah,
why don't you just have it?
Because, no, it's easy to criticize. It's hard to create. Everybody knows that.
Unbelievable. Anyway, as the GM of the Buffalo Bills, I mean, we know it's Brandon Beane. He made a decision to go with Bradley Chubb. Now, this happened while we were recording the show last
Did
week.
I not call that, by the way? I sat here in the chair because the week before, 2 hours after we finished, they traded for DJ Moore. I go, today, the Bills are going to make a huge move. And lo and behold, I get up from a nap, and there's Bradley Chubb in a Bills uniform.
And just like that, they're like, so why are you talking about Bradley Chubb now? It's a week old.
Exactly.
It is a week old, but now our GM gets to comment.
Yeah, I don't hate this move, right? Like, with high risk, with high reward comes high risk, right? Bradley Chubb is a good defensive end. Bradley Chubb is going to give you the reps that you need from that position. He's not going to bury you. You didn't have to give up the assets that, Denver had to give up to go get Jalen Waddle, or the Ravens would have had to give up. It's affordable. You keep your picks. I don't hate this idea. I don't.
It's interesting, Joe, the fact that this sort of move comes after the whole Crosby deal gets nixed. The Bills were kind of like, you know what? Let's just go get a guy out of our division and put him on our team, and then we'll basically get to that need. 3 years, not bad, though. I wouldn't be bad. What are your thoughts on the deal?
Well, I think it's a good move. The Bills needed the help. He can help.
Yeah.
That's what you need. But I actually want to play GM.
Okay.
Ooh.
Wait. Time out. No. You don't want the job. Let Joe have the job now. Okay.
All right.
GM Joe.
Let's say I'm the GM. I think I can solve the cap problems and all the Bills' problems in one swift move. It's a simple trade with the Steelers. You give up Josh Allen. You get back the rights to Aaron Rodgers.
You're an idiot.
Right?
I hate your face. Just stop talking.
Aaron Rodgers retires as a Bill.
This is why Joe isn't allowed on the show.
Statue outside the new stadium.
What is wrong with you?
People take photos
Stupid
for
as thing.
Instagram
I've ever heard
in
my
front of the statue.
Nobody likes you. Everybody hates what's
Look at the cap space
Even
and free up.
Okay.
Oh my God, what a deal.
You can't have Josh in.
See what happens when you take for granted the job that has been given to you, GM Pat Duffy?
I'll never do it again.
See?
I will say this, man. Like, when it comes to the jobs of general managers this offseason so far, the price of talent, for whatever reason, has skyrocketed,
Yes.
right? Multiple first-round picks to go get Max Crosby, who at 29 years old maybe has 2 or 3 years of, like, high productivity left. Jalen Waddle is not a 1, 2, 3, 4 guy. The price for him blew my freaking mind. And thank God that Brandon Beane did not put that deal together at the trade deadline last year. There were reports that it was on the table and he was ready to pull the trigger and he waited. There were also reports that the Bills, we know that they were in negotiations with the Raiders before the Ravens did that deal for Max Crosby, that the Raiders told the Bills 2 first-round picks was the price, and Beane didn't walk away. He just got beat a little bit more by the Ravens. That would have been an overpay, in my opinion, for Crosby. I like where we're at right now. You're putting a good wide receiver in DJ Moore with Josh Allen. You're putting a good defensive end in Bradley Chubb on the field to help fix this defense. Instead of buying lottery tickets for high potential, low performance, just put good in there and let Josh do his thing.
I'm afraid to ask, Joe, there is a restructuring of Josh Allen's contract going forward. Smart move. And I know as we say this, there's still a lot of people still mad at Brandon Beane. Like, they're still upset about everything that went on with the fact that Sean McDermott got fired. But to Pat Duffy's point, there have been some decent moves restructuring Allen's deal. What do you think about that?
Yeah, okay, you have to figure out the cap situation so you can win. I had another idea. How we can get Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. It's only going to cost like James Cook and Shakira, and maybe no.
There is no one else on that team.
We'll take the cap. You can have Rodgers.
I don't want Rodgers. Just take the cap. I don't want Rodgers.
Pat McAfee live from One Bill Street.
When we donned you the GM, it was not frivolously. Well, anybody can come in and be a GM and wreck your entire franchise.
What did I tell you? This is what happens when you give a Muppet the ability to talk about sports.
All right. That first segment was great. I don't know about the Bill segment, but don't worry about it. Like it or not, it's coming up next. You're watching the Rochester Press Box.
Here's the Press Box Trivia question, brought to you by Market View Liquor, where exceptional customer service meets an extensive selection. Jefferson Road.
New attraction 180 feet below the earth and a view of Niagara Falls like you've never seen before. Mike O'Brien, your getaway guy. I'll take you here to the tunnel. Look for the Getaway Guy on Facebook and YouTube.
Here's the Press Box Trivia answer, brought to you by Market View Liquor, where exceptional customer service meets an extensive selection. Jefferson Road at 390.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rochester Press Box, Like It or Not segment. Joe, we'll start off with you on this one. Right now, the NCAA tournament is going on. Just about everybody's been kicked out day one, but here we are on the weekend enjoying the games. Your thoughts on expanding it to 68 teams or maybe even more?
Yeah, so right now with the first four, they play to get in the tournament. So are they really in it?
Oh, well, they look. Howard had never won an NCAA game.
Yes.
And they counted the first four as the first NCAA tournament win in Howard's history. So in the record books, it counts.
Yeah, okay.
Joe's not buying it.
Go Bison.
So you have like Nebraska, a legitimate team that's never been good at basketball. They're in the tournament. They could win their first ever game, and they're number 5 seed. I would say that would actually count.
No.
But getting back to the 68, I mean, we don't need more teams.
Yeah.
What are we doing? It's great the way it is. We don't need to water it down. The 15 versus 2, 16 versus 1, generally they're not good games. Why add more of those games?
Well, I mean, look, within the last 15 years, there had never been a 16 beaten 1. There has been 2 16 seeds to beat 1 seeds. We're starting to see the rise in the mid-majors, that these teams that are together for 4 years are performing better. And that's typically mid-major stuff. Look, man, when it was 32, they said 32 is perfect and we shouldn't expand it. And when it was 64, they said 64 is perfect, we shouldn't expand it. I think that this tournament is so exciting, and that one game playoff is such a unique situation for sports that you could, in theory, put all 232 Division I basketball teams in a tournament, and it would still be wildly entertaining for 7 weeks, 8 weeks.
But right now, I'm at where you just talked about. I'm at the point where, you know what you don't hear? Anybody complaining that they're not in it. So whoever's not in it shouldn't be in it at all.
Coastal Carolina has a pretty good season. Let it be a 12. Let it be an 11. I think that makes the tournament a little bit better.
Absolutely. Are the Kansas City Chiefs any better with Justin Fields is now the new backup quarterback?
I am very surprised by this. Now, let's keep in mind, Patrick Mahomes is coming back from this Achilles injury. It was the Achilles injury, right? And he may not be ready for opening day.
No.
Does that mean that the Chiefs are going to roll with Justin Fields as their starting quarterback for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks? Do you trust him to run that offense when last year Patrick Mahomes was having a hard time doing it? I guess I would have thought they would have gone for a more proven veteran quarterback, a Kirk Cousins, something like that, for example.
Yeah. He spent some time in Pittsburgh. What did you think early on with Justin Fields as opposed to late?
Okay, so I didn't think he was a great starting quarterback. I think he's a capable backup. You don't want him in a game where you need like a big pass, a big throw. I don't think the Chiefs are going to be totally happy, Let's put it this way. Russell Wilson replaced him in Pittsburgh and maybe,
Good point. That's a good point. But I mean, like, to your point with the veterans available, I brought up Kirk Cousins. You have Joe Flacco, who looks like he still wants to play. You brought up Russell Wilson. Look, you don't want Russell Wilson being your season-long starter, but I would much rather have Russell Wilson with the roster that Kansas City has for the first 4 games of the season than Justin Fields. The Chiefs need a guy to eat up minutes while they're, the greatest quarterback they've ever had in their franchise heals himself up. Justin Fields is not that guy.
I just find this to be interesting that the NFL is now going to be starting to look at number 2 and number 3 quarterbacks, especially if they start to expand. I've said this before. You have backup tight ends, you have backup running backs, you have backup wide receivers. You need a capable backup quarterback, especially if they expand the season, the regular season, beyond these 17 games. So we'll wait and see what happens. Coming up next, Unfinished Business. You're watching the Rochester Press Box.
The Press Box Stat of the Week is being brought to you by McArdle's Restaurant in Fairport. Come home to McArdle's.
Came now to Eichel. He floated one.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rochester Press Box. Time for Unfinished Business, being brought to you by Greg the Roofer. Better roof, better price, better call Greg the Roofer. Save time and money on your roof, siding, and windows. Call today for a free estimate. Financing is available at gregtheroofer.com, and Pat Duffy fires off first.
With the NCAA tournament playing this weekend in Buffalo, I'd like to share with you my favorite ever media sports story that I have. It was 10 years ago, and it was also the NCAA tournament playing the first round in Buffalo. It was in between games on Saturday, so the last game of the day is starting in like an hour. And as I'm back in the conkles of the then First Niagara Center, just watching basketball, I got a media pass because they just give it to you because I'm this handsome. I wanted to go get a pennant from the front of the house where everyone was at the souvenir stand. So I asked the security guard, where can I go? And he goes, go this way, take a right, take a left, and boom, you're there. And I got my media pass on. I put my jacket over myself because it's going to be cold in the front. And I start following his directions. And I get to the door he tells me to go. I open the door and I step through expecting to be in the lobby of the First Niagara Center, except I wasn't. I was in the locker room of the Villanova men's basketball team as then head coach Jay Wright was addressing his players before they went out to start this tournament game. It's win or go home. He looks at me and I am horrified, looking him right in the face because I know I'm in the wrong spot. And I start to reach back to look for a doorknob to get out of there in the door that I came, except there is no doorknob. There's only a knob on the other side. And I get to send it upon staffers of Villanova. And all the players are looking at me like, what are you doing here? And I'm, again, in full panic mode. All of a sudden, the door opens behind me. And everyone's screaming and yelling. And after about 60 seconds, which felt, in all honesty, like an eternity, we finally figure out the mistake that was made. And credit to the folks at the NCAA. The guy who ran all the media stuff came over to me. And he goes, listen, I understand it was a mistake. No big deal. But people are very angry. So I think it would be best if you left for the rest of the day. So I did. And on the way home, I listened to that game. And the locker room that I walked into and disturbed while they were getting their pregame speech lost in an upset in Buffalo. To this day, I believe that might be my fault. But the funniest part of this is a couple of weeks later, I got a letter addressed to my house from the NCAA alerting me that I have now been banned from all NCAA sporting events as a member of the media. But apparently they don't look all that close because guess where I was on Saturday, baby? In Buffalo after they credentialed me again. So I'm sorry to Jay Wright. I'm sorry to Villanova, and the NCAA maybe should cross-reference who they've banned for life before you let them have media passes again.
So we're currently in a non-war. We are currently in a non-invasion of Venezuela. We are currently possibly not going to take over Cuba. These are the kind of topics on the minds of people everywhere, which explains why sports is surging in popularity. World Baseball Classic, the Olympics, the upcoming World Cup, even the NBA saw a surge in ratings. Football, which doesn't seem like it could get more popular, is getting more popular. People turn to sports when the news is too much to handle, which is why I'm really looking forward to baseball starting on the 26th of March. I can't wait. And when the Pirates take the field with Paul Skeens on opening day, I don't think there'll be a care in the world. and if the world is still around.
Every once in a while, you'll have these moments where coaches make a scene and make a player feel terrible for what they've done or maybe cost them a chance to win a game. But then there are the moments that you realize that these are just human beings and coaches do it too. I'll take you back to Tuesday's play-in game for the NCAA tournament. Texas and North Carolina. Texas and North Carolina play a very close game. Texas takes a jumper to take the lead at the end of that game. What happens? It feels like a celebratory moment. One of the assistant coaches on Texas actually ran onto the court. What does the head coach for Texas do? Get right in his grill as if he were a player, holding that coach accountable for losing it for that moment. I get it. It's a great moment, but here's what could have happened. A technical and free throws from that in college basketball in a game that's close. Listen, I understand people make mistakes and I understand coaches come down hard, but it's good to know that coaches are just as hard on their other coaches as they are on the players that play. That's Unfinished Business. Listen, I love that credential story. I didn't realize they gave you redemption. Nice.
I don't think they realized it either, but I'm not kidding. I thought I was going to be let out of that arena in handcuffs with Jay Wright, like explaining what I had done wrong, which also might have been a cool ending to that story.
Always great to have the Joe Bradt episode of the show. Always good to have you, my friend.
Once a year is all we need.
Thank you for watching the Rochester Press Box. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, don't you run the risk of getting arrested every time you go to a sporting event, though?